Hey, what's up guys? So today I've got a review for you guys of the iPod Touch 6th Gen. The 6th Gen iPod Touch has 1GB of RAM, Apple 64-bit A8 chip, an M8 motion coprocessor, and you can choose between 16, 32, or 64GB of storage. After all of that, you can also choose from a variety of colors, including the new gold and pink. All the older colors are also available, and they have been revamped and they look much more vivid compared to last year's iPod Touch 5. The screen on the iPod 6 is the same as last year's iPod 5, but that doesn't make it a bad display. The display has a resolution of 1136 by 640 pixels at a 326 ppi, but on a 4-inch display, you don't see any pixelation. The screen gets very bright for outdoor use, and it's also pretty dim for use in low light. Even though the resolution is low on paper, the display is very sharp and is very clear in person. Also, the display doesn't support Apple's new 3D Touch or Force Touch features like the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. Under the display, we have the traditional Apple home button, so no Touch ID here, but that was probably done so that the iPod Touch can stay at an affordable price range. Above the display, we have a 1.2 megapixel camera, which is capable of 720p video, and it is a decent camera, nothing too crazy, but it does what it's meant for well. On the back, we do have an 8 megapixel iSight camera, which has been greatly improved from the previous generation. This generation supports burst mode, 1080p video at 30 fps, 720p slow-mo video at 120 fps, and time-lapse capabilities. The back camera is decent, but it's not the best. Pictures do tend to get blurry when zoomed in, and HDR is not useful at all. Beside the rear camera, we do have a LED flash, which to my surprise is very bright. When I turned on the flashlight in the dark, I expected it to be dull and useless, but it was bright and clear. On the top and the left hand side of the device, we do have the volume rockers and the lock button, which have a very tactile and satisfying travel. The right side of the device houses nothing, but on the bottom we have the 3.5mm earphone jack, the lightning connector, and a very tiny and quiet speaker. So the iPod does have a small speaker due to its size, and the speaker is loud enough if you're in a fairly quiet area. The speaker does not get too loud, and the low ends are not greatly pronounced. Also, one small thing that annoyed me a lot when playing music and playing games is that the music would automatically turn off and won't turn back on until I close the game. I was only able to play music and games together if the game I was playing gave me the option in settings. I think Apple should simply create an option in iOS that would allow the user to choose whether they would like to hear the app sounds or their music. Powering this whole device is a 1043 mAh battery, which is a slight improvement from the 5th Gen's 1030 mAh battery. The battery life on this device is pretty good. With light usage, you can get about a day out of it, but with heavy gaming and constant screen usage, with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled, you'll probably need to charge at least once halfway through your day. Gaming wasn't a problem for the iPod at all. It was able to handle some pretty graphically intensive games without losing any frames or quality. Also, the new iPod does not support Apple Pay, as it does not have NFC capabilities. The iPod starts at a price of $250 Canadian for a 16GB model, so this is a pretty affordable product from Apple. But who needs an iPod? Why would anyone want one? iPods make perfect gifts for anybody that doesn't have a phone or is too young for a phone. They provide a very similar experience to the iPhone, and it's a very good device if you're just getting into iOS. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.